This tower marks the crossroads in the centre of Oxford. It's called Carfax, which comes from the Latin word for a crossroads. And if it had a postcode, it would probably be OX1 1AA. Opposite Carfax is a bank, but the bank used to be a tavern where a famous fight broke out between people from the city and people from the university. Carfax is the top of the high street. If you turn right from Carfax, you can go down St Aldate's towards Tom Tower, but if you go down the high street, one of the places you hit first is the Covered Market. The Covered Market is over 200 years old, and this is one of its oldest shops. This is the tower of Lincoln College Library. This whole building used to be a church, but was transformed into a library. You can see some lovely Corinthian columns with the flowers at the top. As you keep going down the high street, you can notice the pastel colours of the houses. And then eventually you come to an older building, and this is the outside of Brasenose College. You can see the royal coat of arms with the lion and unicorn at the front. You can get to Brasenose by going down St Mary's Passage. On one side is the University Church, and on the other side you can see Brasenose. In front of you, you can see the Bodleian Library. But if you keep going down the high street, you go past the University Church with its Gothic arches and dreamy spires. Here you can see them in greater detail. After the church, we then pass All Souls College. To get into All Souls College, you have to sit a very difficult exam, and each year 2 or 3 people are then invited to join the college and become what's called a fellow. This is a sycamore tree, which is quite distinctive on the high street, and people think it actually was planted by accident, but now it blooms each spring. This is the Queen's College, which was designed by Sir Christopher Wren and Nicholas Hawksmoor, and you can see features of it which are very neoclassical. As you keep going past Queen's College, you get some more of these pastel buildings. Now, I was told that one of these buildings was where Oxford marmalade was made, although I did find a plaque the other side of the road also telling me that. A bit further down, you have these buildings, and there are various different college crests on the front of them. And as you turn back and look, you can then begin to see the high street from the other direction. So now we're walking back up the high street, and you can see Queen's College on the right. And on the left, we have the examination schools, which is where students from Oxford University go and take their final exams. You can see on the front of it the Oxford University crest, and on one side you can see somebody having an oral examination where they're defending their views from their exams. This is the place where I found the blue plaque to tell me that Cooper's marmalade was made in this shop. The Grand Café is the oldest coffee house in Oxford. Samuel Pepys, the diarist, wrote about it in 1650, which means it's over 350 years old. So you can see All Souls College on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side, as we go up the high street, we have University College. University College is where C.S. Lewis studied, but the plaque on the side in the wall here tells us that it was also where a microscope was created so that we could see cells. As we keep going up the high street, you can see the University Church, and then Brasenose College and the tower above of Lincoln College Library. We also have Quad, which, as you can see from the title, used to be an old bank. In fact, this bank was here when I moved to Oxford over 20 years ago, and then was turned into a hotel. As you keep going up the high street, you can see Brasenose on the right, and then on the other side, if you go down some of the little lanes off the high street, you get to some of the older parts of the city that are quite cobbled. Merton College, Oriel and Corpus Christi are down that way. In fact, this is one of the little lanes that you can go down, Magpie Lane, and just at the end of it you can see Merton. This is a building belonging to Oriel, which is famous or infamous because of the man standing at the top of the tower, called Cecil Rhodes. So that's a whistle-stop tour of the High Street. And as we come near the end of it, I want you to reflect in a moment on a famous picture by Turner of the Oxford High Street and ask yourself how much it's changed.